All right, everybody, good evening. We've got some late breaking news from the Seattle Seahawks. We actually have another hiring. And this is not filling one of the major roles that is still open for the Seahawks. We still don't know about offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, but we do know about our new linebacker coach, it looks like. I saw this via a handful of sources, but Aaron Wilson has it here on X. The Seahawks are hiring the Packers assistant, Kirk Olivadotti. That's, I believe, how you would pronounce it, per several sources. Likely going to coach linebackers, connected with Mike McDonald from Georgia football. So, Kirk Olivadotti, I'll just go ahead and call him Captain Kirk because that's flows off the tongue much better. Captain Kirk's been around for quite some time. He's been an NFL coach for almost 25 years now. He started with the Redskins in the 2000s, was there for a decade in various capacities, and basically built his reputation there. Spent a little bit of time in Georgia as the linebacker coach, which is where Mike McDonald was a quality control coach, I believe, for a few years. So there's the overlap. Then he went back to the Redskins to be the linebacker coach. So that's where most of his experience is. You can see that he was 3 years here and then 5 years here. So most of what he's done is a linebacker coach. Most recently, however, Captain Kirk has been the inside linebackers coach for the Green Bay Packers. So this is currently where he's building his rep. And over the last several years, you look at the Packers and their inside linebacker spot. When he got there, the big guy on campus was Blake Martinez, and he was a good player. But of course, Blake Martinez was a good player before Olivadotti was able to coach him, so not like he made him. However, if you fast forward a couple years, back to I think 2021, there was one big coup that Olivadotti assisted in pulling off, and that was Devondre Campbell. Devondre Campbell was kind of a journeyman at inside linebacker, just bounced around a couple different teams. I think he was on Atlanta and Arizona. And then he found his way to Green Bay. And under the coaching of Captain Kirk here, Campbell had an all-pro season and signed a $50 million contract extension with the Packers. So he was able to kind of discover that guy and get the best out of him and turn him into what was, for at least a period of time, an elite player. Now, since he got paid, you could argue he's fallen off a little bit, but he's still a good player. He's still a useful player. So I would say if you're looking for something to really get excited about when it comes to Captain Kirk, you would look at Devondre Campbell. Since that season, by the way, they've also been developing Quay Walker, their linebacker they drafted a couple years ago. So you could say that Captain Kirk has overseen that development, so that's also good as well. Overall, the Packers' defense isn't exactly great and hasn't been great over the last couple years, so it's not the best thing in the world to be associated with that group. But overall, I would say that there's some impressive stuff you could point to during that time. So obviously, I'm not going to go over everything that's happened with him over the last 24 years. But there is definitely some stuff here that we can get excited about. For one, the experience. Like, this guy's been having roles like this for over 20 years. He was an assistant defensive back coach when he started out. Then he was a quality control coach, special teams assistant, special defensive line assistant, and then over 15 years ago, he gets his first chance as a full-on positional coach, linebacker coach. Spends more time as a linebacker coach in college, linebacker coach in the pros. So this is a guy who's proven that he can do it over an extended period of time. Now, I know it's just a linebacker coach, and we have Mike McDonald in place, and the defense is ultimately going to be owned by him. I don't think the linebacker coach is going to have a huge influence, but there's going to be something there. And this is the kind of hire that I like when we have Mike McDonald, the guy with no head coaching experience. I want to surround him with guys that have experience. And this guy most certainly has linebacker coach experience. You're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years as a linebacker coach in the pros alone. And then the 3 years at Georgia. So, seems like a pretty decent hire to me. Not somebody that I'm super familiar with, but looking at the resume, I like the logic. And welcome aboard, Captain Kirk. So, that's the news for tonight. I'm going to be live on Twitch in a little bit here. So if you want to come watch me play more Persona, come on out to the Twitch channel, link in the description. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Go Hawks, and welcome Captain Kirk to Seattle.